Nathan Judo. I'm here with Wolves reporter Tim Spiers. Tim, Cardiff and Neil Warnock, they came here with a game plan. Unfortunately for Wolves, it worked.
It worked very, very well. I was very impressed with Cardiff. This is going to happen sooner or later. Nuno was saying on Friday how he knows everything about Cardiff and about every team in the division really, and knows exactly what they're going to get. But I don't think anything could quite prepare the likes of Neves, Jota, Miranda, who had a terrible game, for the physical approach that Cardiff took. I mean, they bullied him into submission basically, and deservedly got 3 points.
And let's be honest, first 20 or 30 minutes they could have been ahead, quite easily, 1 or 2. Yeah,
they hit the bar from a yard. They should have scored. Every set piece was causing Wolves problems in that first half, and we got a preview of this at Hull on Tuesday when Wolves couldn't deal with set pieces. We also got a preview of Miranda being susceptible to pacey wingers at Hull on Tuesday, and that happened again today. But yeah, set pieces, long throws from Gunnarsson, corners, free kicks. It was yielding a chance almost every time for Cardiff, a chance or a half chance, and yeah, they should have been ahead at half time. And Julie got their goal just after second half. But I would just add, it wasn't all about set pieces from Cardiff, and the 2 goals they scored were 2 good goals. I thought they were good value for the win.
And back to the first half, and I guess Jota and Bakary still had chances as well, didn't they? But just obviously didn't take them.
Yeah, I mean,
they create a little bit.
Cardiff did so well at shutting Wolves' passing game down. They closed them down at every opportunity. They came in with a game plan. Wouldn't let Wolves take goal kicks shorts. You had Mendes Lang was pretty much playing as a wing back a lot of the time. They had a back 5 for goal kicks, and it was only a couple of times really that Jota and Bakary managed to wriggle free and get a couple of decent shots away from the edge of the box. But that was about it really in the first half. Cardiff completely disrupted Wolves' passing game. Yes, at closing them down and stopping them playing, but lots of niggly fouls. Every time Wolves tried to break clear, just a little foul, little trip.
And the ref was poor as well, didn't he?
And the ref helped Cardiff in that regard, because he was so poor for both teams. Didn't get a lid on what Cardiff were doing, and Wolves didn't really have an answer.
No, they didn't. And first goal conceding, like you say, bit of a shocker for Miranda.
Yeah, so it was Hoylett who cut inside Miranda. I think he fell over at the same time, and then he cuts it inside for Rules, who beats Ruddy, who I'd have to see it again, but on first glance he probably should have saved it, and he certainly should have saved the second one from Mendes Lang, Ruddy as well. So there was mistakes all over the park really. Bolly's mistake for the second goal with a poor header. Sace just kept putting the ball out of play. I was like, what are you doing, man? From little throw-ins, and 5-yard passes were straight out of play. Sace had a shocker, well below what he's been producing so far, which is the same for all of them, apart from Bright. I actually thought Bright looked really good, and then he got taken off on the Alpha Caballero, which was a surprise.
Easy to say now, but was this a game too far for the same team again?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think fitness or fatigue was an issue today. I just thought they were beaten by the better team who came with a great game plan and enacted it perfectly. And you knew exactly what you're going to get from Warnock in terms of being direct and physical, but the way that they stopped Wolves playing was impressive. Like I said, Wolves are nice.
And so frustrating as well, because they got it back into the game through Bonatini, and probably were having their best spell of the game, and then they go up the other end and score.
Yeah, so oh my goodness, we're getting
raining.
But Bonatini, he was just about to get taken off. Dicko was
ready to go,
just stripped off, ready to come on. Full Bonatini. Bonatini gets his goal. Nice little tidy finish from close range, and Wolves were putting on the pressure at that point. They were by no means producing anywhere near the levels of football they have been, but that, in terms of free flowing and passing moves, but they were getting to grips with the physical nature of the game, and they were giving as good as they got as well, by the way, in terms of challenges, and you feel that they were getting there and they had the momentum, and then came Cardiff's best spell.
Sure.
And they probably could have won by a couple of goals.
Nuno asked, are you going to change your style of play? A lot of teams are going to come here, see this, and maybe use it as the blueprint. He says that there's no way in a million years they're going to change it.
No, he said that to me before the start of the season, that he not only knows, but this is the one way he wants to play, and he won't sacrifice his principles. Now that's all very noble, but in the Championship sometimes you've got to throw it long.
You've got to win ugly.
You've got to, as Bully would say, you've got to roll your sleeves up, and you've got to get stuck in. And
a point would have been a good result really today, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, and if you had a target man up there for the last 5 minutes just to throw the ball at his head, every team does it.
Of course they do.
You can't be above it, and you can't be above it in this Championship, because the Championship will eat you up and spit you out. And
it can act as a protecting a lead as well. You're bringing someone in and holding it up as well.
And they're going to have to get used to this, because teams will look at this game and say, look, Wolves have blown 3 teams away so far in fantastic style. What did Cardiff do? Yeah. And they'll look at that and they'll try and reproduce it.
George Mendes was in the stand today. I mean, striker, please. Is that
Uncle George?
Yes.
Yeah, striker. I mean, they've looked at plenty.
Bonatini
like
scored again today, but you know, is it the answer?
I thought he was bang average again today. I've got to say. And yeah, he took his goal, which is a great habit. He's got two goals in his 5 appearances so far. But no, he hasn't set the world on fire. I don't think he's the man. I mean, may prove me wrong, and we're still going on about his fitness. Yeah. Because he didn't have a proper pre-season.
But he's been preferred to Nuno Dicko, so
been preferred to Dicko. I don't think Dicko's the style of striker that Nuno wants personally. Again, he's got his 2 goals as well. We've 4 goals from strikers so far. But no, they're interested in a lot of kind of 6 foot mobile strikers who can hold the play up and pacey and get in the box and score goals. You're asking a lot here. You know, someone like Tammy Abraham would be perfect. Kenneth Sahore would be absolutely perfect, by the way. Cardiff striker.
Kenneth.
So, yeah, the search continues. As we've said before, they're prepared to spend money on a striker, but they're certainly preferable to be a top striker in on loan.
Sure.
But that may take a bit of time.
Still, I mean, it's not the end of the world. 9 points in 12 games. They're taking that all day long. Just disappointing, isn't it, when you come into the game on a high and then obviously we're a bit deflated.
Yeah, because they could have gone top of the league today, but I think this will do well. I hope this does them good in the long run because it's all about how they learn from it. Like I said, other teams will do this to Wolves. So it's about how they learn and react from it, and they've got to get used to it. So better for it to happen now, sort it out on the training ground, and make sure it doesn't happen again. And
Nuno want to see plenty of his squad, I would assume, on Wednesday night at Southampton.
Yeah. Before we go on to that, I should just say the Sace incident as well.
Okay.
Before half time, we just spoke to Nuno, and he said he was elbowed basically, and the guy should have been sent off.
Yeah.
He was booked for it. It was right in front of the dugout here, and then
Warnock
Warnock locking horns, literally
yeah.
almost touching foreheads. And yes, so Nuno says it was a definite red. I mean, Connor Cody's just said that the ref was naive as well.
Oh yeah, he had a stinker throughout. He had an absolute stinker. He was dreadful.
Nuno thought it should have been a red. But as for the Southampton game, right, calm down.
He was awful. I hope he gets relegated to the National League North next week.
Right, okay. As for Southampton, it's sort of like a bit of a free hit, really. Probably the ideal game. I think after this defeat now, there's more likely to be places up for grabs at Brentford next week, so that'll be a real incentive for some of those guys to get out, all over the pitch here. Like I said, Miranda had a poor game, Sace had a poor game. There's spots all over for people like Jack Price and Danny Bart and Ryan Bennett to go out and do something. Unlike against Yeovil when they were so poor, go to Southampton, produce a performance and try and work your way into the team, and hopefully they get a win.
And like you say, Brentford and a lot of teams that are playing who are in winnable games coming up are going to ask for this video, and they'll be watching it very closely, won't they?
Yeah, exactly. Another tough test, and then they finally get the international break that they've been dying for. Because it's been such a relentless start with every single game in midweek. So yeah, hopefully more of a positive end of the week.
Wolves 1, Cardiff 2 for all the post-match reaction. Make sure you log on to expressionstar.com.